First and foremost, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Japanese English-speaking YouTubers who always assist me in my English studies, as well as to the various applications and tools. From now on, I will discuss my Q&A about my English entirely in English. I want to clarify from the beginning that I've prepared all my English responses in advance with ChatGPT's help. The reason I made this video is to create an opportunity to share my thoughts and what I've learned, and also to record my current pronunciation. The decision to make this video was sparked by a comment from Philip, who I always exchange messages online. One day, he said he wanted to see my room, so I thought, why not make a room tour video in English and send it to him? It seemed like a great way to learn the names of things in my room and to express my thoughts. Then, a thought struck me. Wait a minute! Before diving into a room tour, wouldn't it be an incredibly effective study method to create a video discussing my English and hobbies? Topics I've meticulously gathered and explained in English? Motivated by this idea, I decided to kick things off with a video focusing on my journey with English. Going forward, I plan to create more videos, including Q&As about my hobbies and acupuncture, as well as room tour videos. Here's how this Q&A was developed. First, I had ChatGPT come up with questions about my English. Then, I wrote my responses in Japanese. After that, I had ChatGPT translate those accurately into English, and I'll be speaking from those scripts. However, I did look up and study any words or grammatical structure in the scripts that were unfamiliar to me, using ChatGPT of course. So please keep in mind that what I'm saying isn't being thought up on the spot but has been prepared in advance. Let's get started! 1. How long have you been studying English? I've been studying for about a year and a half. 2. What made you start learning English? I want to work on a luxury cruise ship as an acupuncturist. 3. Are you enjoying your English studies now? Yes, I do enjoy it. Of course, it gets tiring after long hours, but future possibilities excite me. 4. Have you ever visited an English-speaking country? No, I haven't. I've always wanted to visit English-speaking countries, especially Australia, the US, and major European nations. 5. How do you usually practice your English? I use a mix of methods. I use YouTube, iPhone apps, reference books, and occasionally Netflix to study grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and speaking. 6. Any English books or movies you'd recommend? For acupuncturists, I'd recommend English Conversation Handbook for Acupuncturists. If you want to learn natural British English conversations, the movie At Least is great. 7. Do you take any English classes? I used to attend a 50-minute class once a week, but I stopped as I felt I wasn't progressing. My English level was too low, so now I'm focusing on self-study until I can converse. 8. What do you find most challenging about learning English? Right now, everything is a challenge, especially listening. Native speakers often speak first and blend their words, making it hard to understand. 9. How often do you study English? I study English 6 days a week, about 4 hours on Sundays and around 2 hours each day from Monday to Friday. So roughly 14 hours a week. 10. What's your favorite method to learn English? I don't necessarily have a favorite way to study. Instead, I focus on the most efficient and effective methods. 11. Do you use any apps or online platforms for your studies? Absolutely. I heavily use platforms like YouTube, ChatGPT, flashcard apps, English voice generation apps, and reference books. 12. Have you ever tried language exchange? Yes, I've tried it with 4 foreigners I met in person. One of them and I've been exchanging languages daily for about 8 months now. 13. What motivates you to continue learning? I have several motivations. First, I aspire to work on a luxury cruise ship as an acupuncturist. I also see it as a way to broaden my life's possibilities. Lastly, I aim to create a share house where individuals with English-related dreams gather to share and inspire each other, accelerating the achievement of each other's goals and dreams. 14. Which English accent do you find the most interesting? I'm quite fond of the British accent. It's encouraged at the English school I attend. Personally, I find it cooler than the American one, but I don't mean to criticize or discredit American English at all. 15. Have you met any native English speakers before? Yeah, I've met a couple from the US. I'm studying British English though, so I'd love to meet someone from the UK. 16. How do you handle English pronunciation? I started by learning the basic features of pronunciation and the differences between similar sounds. Every time I come across a new word, I listen to its pronunciation, check the phonetic symbols, and practice out loud. 17. Is there a specific reason you want to be fluent in English? Yes, I aim to earn my clients' trust by speaking fluent English when I work on luxury cruise ship in the future. 18. How do you feel about English grammar? English grammar differs from Japanese, so it takes time to get used to. I'm still in the learning process. 19. Are there any English idioms or phrases you find interesting? I've come across many, but I haven't settled on a favorite yet. I'm always curious to learn more though. 20. Do you have any pals who speak English? I have a few friends studying English, but none are at a fluent level yet. 21. Have you ever had a funny or awkward moment because of English? Not yet, but as I immerse myself more in English-speaking settings, I might have some in the future. 22. What tools do you use to enhance your vocabulary? I use various resources, mainly YouTube, apps, and reference books. I especially enjoy videos interviewing foreigners on YouTube, ChatGPT, and vocabulary apps. 23. How confident do you feel about your English speaking? Honestly, I'm not very confident right now, but I've been focusing on speaking practice lately, so I hope to gain more confidence soon. 24. Do you watch movies or shows in English? I haven't been watching any lately. I once tried to learn English through Netflix movies but stopped because I felt there were other priorities. However, I plan to use English movies for learning in the future. 25. How do you approach difficult English words or phrases? I haven't encountered many yet, but when I do, I try to understand the meaning and pronounce them while visualizing their meaning. I also create sentences I'm likely to use to remember them. 26. Are you involved in any English learning groups? I'm part of a group, but I'm not very active right now. However, I can get information from the community when needed. 27. Which English skill are you currently focusing on? I'm mainly focusing on speaking. I identify phrases I'm likely to use and practice speaking them smoothly. 28. Do you listen to English music or any podcasts? I rarely do. However, I sometimes listen to popular foreign songs. I've never used podcasts. 29. How do you approach English phrasal verbs? What are phrasal verbs? Oh, I see. I tend to research their origins. By doing so, I can visualize their meanings, making them easier to remember. Just trying to understand the word and its meaning alone makes it hard to memorize. 30. Have you ever considered teaching English? Yes, I have. Not strictly teaching like in an English conversation class, but I dream of running a shared house for English learners in the future. I'd like to answer questions about English and share my experiences. 31. How do you feel when you nail a conversation in English? It's hard to put into words, but I feel a sense of accomplishment. Though it might be because I'm not yet that fluent. As I get better, my feelings might change. 32. Out of reading, writing, listening, and speaking, which English skill do you feel most confident in? To be honest, I can't say I'm great at any yet, but I'm focusing on listening and speaking first, with reading and writing second. My main goal is seamless communication. 33. Any advice for someone diving into English? I'm not fluent yet, so I can't give advice. However, I'd love to share effective reproducible methods based on my experience someday. When I find that method, I plan to share it on YouTube to help others struggling with learning. 34. How crucial is it for you to sound like a native English speaker? It's really important to me. My main goal for learning English is to work on luxury cruise ships as an acupuncturist. I believe sounding like a native will bring more trust, benefiting my business. 35. What's your ultimate goal with English? That's an interesting question. I aim to speak English as fluently as I do Japanese. I haven't really thought about in-game, but I'd ponder on it. 36. Got any favorite English words or phrases? This might not be what you are asking, but I love Einstein's quote. One's value is determined not by what they receive, but by what they give. It changed my perspective. 37. How do you handle the cultural aspect of the language? Well, that's a bit of a tricky question for me since I haven't thought about it much. Through the YouTube channel of a Japanese YouTuber living in Australia named Tarusak, I learn about various cultures, values, and history. They conduct interviews with people from many countries on this channel. 38. Do you read English newspapers or articles? No, I don't, but I hope to be at a level when I can read them eventually. 39. Have you ever thought about studying abroad to boost your English skills? I haven't really considered it. Fortunately, we live in an era with abundant resources, so I believe I can improve my English even in Japan if I use the right methods. But I am curious about it. If I had been passionate about learning English during my student days, studying abroad might have been an option. 40. What's the most rewarding aspect of learning English for you? There are several rewarding aspects for me, especially in my career. My immediate goal is to work on a luxurious cruise ship as an acupuncturist. Furthermore, I aim to run a share house for English learners in the future. Of course, the ability to communicate with many people around the world has numerous benefits, not just in work, but in life in general. 41. I heard you started learning English just before you turned 26. How's it been going? It's been a bit slower than I anticipated. I thought I'd be speaking more fluently by now. I hadn't been involved with English since my first year of high school and started off disliking it. This made me realize that learning English isn't easy. However, I'm grateful that there are now many resources available and I can see a clear path forward. 42. Did you need to learn any specific English terms related to acupuncture? Yes, I did. I learned terms specific to acupuncture and phrases to use during treatments. 43. Why do you want to work on a luxury cruise ship? There are a few reasons. First, the idea of working on a luxury cruise ship excites me. Second, I believe that working with people from different countries while traveling will broaden my perspectives. And lastly, I want to further enhance my English skills through this experience. 44. Did you encounter any challenges communicating with patients on the cruise ship in English? No, I haven't worked on a cruise ship yet, nor have I treated foreign patients. 45. You didn't like English in school? What changed your mind? The main reason was finding an exciting goal to work as an acupuncturist on a luxury cruise ship. I realized I needed English to achieve this. Moreover, mastering English would significantly expand my life's opportunities and choices. 46. How has your lack of interest in English in the past impacted your current studies? To be honest, I sometimes regret not studying English more seriously back then. It feels like I'm trying to make up for lost time now. 47. What message would you give to your high school self who thought he wouldn't need English? I'd probably tell him, you'll be using English in the future and it opens up amazing opportunities even if you don't become fluent right away. At least grasp the basics. It'll help you later on. 48. What advice would you give someone in your field looking to learn English? That's a great question. Absolutely go for it. Learning to speak English fluently may take some time, but I firmly believe that mastering English will immensely enrich your life in the future. As for the best way to study English, I'm still exploring the most effective strategies myself. Once I become fluent, I plan to share efficient learning methods on YouTube to help others. 49. Have you ever performed treatments using English with your clients? Not yet, but once I'm confident in my language skills, I plan to reach out to massage parlors catering to foreign customers in Japan. Even if it's just massage without acupuncture, I'd like to practice treating and communicating in English. 50. How do you improve your English skills while working? I make the most of my mornings. I feel I'm most focused early on, so I study English for about 2 hours on weekdays and 4 hours on Sundays. I used to study during breaks or at night, but I found morning sessions much more effective. 51. Has knowing English given you more opportunities as an acupuncturist? No, not yet, as I am still learning English. However, I believe that mastering English in the future will open up many more opportunities for me. Recently, the number of foreigners visiting Japan has increased, and I think there is a growing demand for treatment from non-Japanese speakers, especially in places like Tokyo. Since there are few acupuncturists and massage therapists who speak English in Japan, improving my English skills should also increase my market value. 52. Considering your journey, are there aspects of English you have come to enjoy even if you didn't before? Yes, there are. I really enjoy it now. I get excited imagining how learning English can open up new life experiences and opportunities for me in the future. I believe if I master it, there will be unique insights and values I can share, precisely because I once disliked the language. 53. Are you acquainted with any acupuncturists who speak English? Yes, I do know one, though I haven't heard her speak English directly. She's a respected woman who has achieved great success on luxury cruise ships using her English skills. 54. Are there English medical journals or articles you often refer to? I don't really look at those at all. I haven't reached the level of English proficiency yet. It might not directly answer your question, but I frequently refer to a book called English Conversation Handbook for Acupuncturists and Massage Therapists. It's practical and provides phrases and terminology related to acupuncture and massage. 55. Considering your unique career and English journey, do you plan to document or share your experiences? Yes, I do. In fact, I'm currently posting on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok sharing my journey from zero English skills to working on a luxury cruise ship as an acupuncturist. 56. Will you continue your English studies even after achieving your goals on the cruise ship? Definitely. I have another dream of operating a share house for those chasing their dreams using English. To realize this, I believe it's crucial to continue improving my English. 57. Have your views on the significance of English in Japan evolved over time? Yes, they have. With the increasing number of foreigners visiting Japan and considering the changing values in contemporary society, I now see English as a tool to expand life choices. 58. What's been the most astonishing part of your English learning journey? It's how unpredictable life can be. Take me as an example. I once detested English, but now I'm truly passionate about it. My English journey made me realize that with a clear vision for an exciting future, what was once a disliked subject can become a true passion. 59. How do you strike a balance between work, English studies, and personal time? I carefully choose where to invest my time and energy. Every morning, I'm committed to studying English. I focus on my job during the daytime, and I take time to relax in the evenings or on certain days. Above all, I've come to truly understand the importance of time. 60. Do you feel that English has influenced your personal growth or outlook on life? Definitely I do. In fact, there's a Japanese YouTuber in Australia who interviews foreigners on various topics. When I listen to these interviews, I'm struck by the perspectives and opinions of these individuals. It's a constant reminder of how limited my own views might be, as well as the potential narrow-mindedness of many in Japan. It highlights our strong preconceptions. 61. How do you deal with moments of doubt or frustration in your English studies? When I feel that way, I often turn to ChatGPT for answers. I used to look things up online or ask my online English tutor, but lately, I've found that asking ChatGPT is more time and cost efficient. Plus, the accuracy of ChatGPT has improved a lot lately. I always get the precise answers I'm looking for, which has been a huge help. Honestly, I think the monthly fee of 3,000 yen is a steal. 62. When you think back on your English learning journey, do you feel proud of your progress? I don't feel like I've made enough progress to be proud yet. However, I do feel that I'm growing every day and I'm proud of that. I believe I feel even prouder when I become fluent in the future. 63. Have you had moments where you felt particularly thankful for your English abilities? Not yet, since I'm still not fluent, But I'm confident that there will come a time in the near future when I'll be deeply grateful for the English skills I've acquired. 64. Are you considering any advanced English exam or certifications in the future? Yes, I am. Actually, I'm hoping to score well in the IELTS exam. A high score there is universally recognized, and it will be a solid testament to my English proficiency. 65. What advice would you give to someone who thinks they might be too old to start learning English? That's an interesting question. While there's a lot I'd like to say, in short, I'd suggest, don't let age be the reason you don't try. This holds true not only for learning English but for life in general. Sure, age might slow down the learning process, but the best time to start is the moment you think about it. The longer you wait, the harder it gets, so the quickest time is always now. 66. Reflecting on your life's journey, how do you feel about the unexpected turns that led you to learn English? Life is truly intriguing. That's the essence of it for me. What makes life fascinating is the unpredictability and the surprises along the way. A life you can easily predict or one with guaranteed success isn't that exciting in my view. 67. Have you ever come close to giving up on your dream of working on a ship or quitting your English studies? Honestly, I've never thought about giving up. In fact, giving up is simply not an option for me. This is because I've stumbled upon such an attractive career. It's not just acupuncturists who can work on ships. However, there aren't many professions where you can enjoy benefits similar to those of an acupuncturist, including job satisfaction, responsibility, salary, and time off. I don't think it's an easy job by any means, but I can't imagine there being a more fulfilling job than being an acupuncturist on a luxury cruise ship. However, around the end of the first year after I started studying English, I did have moments of doubt about my slow progress, thinking to myself, if I keep studying English in this way, will I really ever become fluent? I never planned to quit, but I couldn't help wondering how long it would take. It was around the time ChatGPT was launched, and it became a light of hope for me. Without ChatGPT, I wouldn't have achieved as much growth, and I might have been despairing by now. The mere thought of not having ChatGPT is too scary to even imagine. Therefore, I consider myself incredibly fortunate. Moving forward, I will continue to express gratitude for everything in the world, appreciate my current situation, and relentlessly pursue my goals.